going to talk about the 2022 Houston Texans and what are the realistic expectations that you all can expect out of your team this year.
Time to tune in. Now another sports center. It's a movement.
Now, we're not going to talk about Deshaun Watson or the case or anything like that, but we are going to talk about all that beautiful draft capital that you all have. And this is a great year. This is the type of draft, folks, where if you want to build up the trenches, if you want to get a running back, it's also deep in receivers, not so deep in other positions like safety and whatnot, but it is deep in tight ends. I mean, this is a great year to have draft capital if you have a lot. And let's say the Texans, the exception of quarterback, depending on who you're talking to, if you're a Davis Mills fan or not, this is a very deep draft in a lot of areas. Not considered the most sexiest draft because this isn't like the year where Joe Burrow's in the draft and they tend to center everything around the quarterbacks. But folks, let me tell you, this is a great year. This is a great year. You got a brand new coach in Lovie Smith. Say what you want about Lovie Smith and how that whole thing went down. He was a Chicago Bear for a long time. This is a guy who took a team to a Super Bowl. This is a guy who is not only rested, he hasn't been coaching in the NFL for several years, but he has a lot of connections throughout the league, whether it be coaches, whether it be players. People love to play for Lovie Smith. He's scandal-free, has no issues. Obviously, my big concern is Bob McNair, the owner. He's made very questionable calls. I would even go as far as to maybe at times he could be a little bit Jerry Jones-ish 2.0 at times. I mean, he's a little much. But Bob McNair aside, he knows how to market a team and get big names. So this is going to be a very exciting year. You have one of the top picks in the draft, multiple high round picks as well too. And then free agency. Free agency has been very eventful. Now we're going to talk about expectations here in just a moment, but let's just go over very briefly. Jeff Driscoll, Kyle Allen, Royce Freeman, Dare Ongu-Bawale, Andy Janovich, Chris Conley, Deshaun Hamilton, Pharaoh Brown, and I still have over like 10 names. You know, he signed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 linebackers that they took and they re-signed. It was a lot of re-signing people and keeping people who were working out for the team. Now, and this year, you have King Henry over there in Tennessee coming off of a injury. He's always going to bring it. Then of course you have the Colts, Matt Ryan, and then you have the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I'm not a fan of their offseason at all. Overpaying for very mediocre players. Believe it or not, I think the Texans could do something very special, but it's really circled around the development of Davis Mills. If they can really draft high, especially when it comes to O-linemen, if you could get Aiden Hutchinson early in the first round, hey, let's get him. Let's get him. Let's have him be the next, JJ Watt, what have you, right? Let's get some special players in there, but also as well, not only surrounding him with the talent. A year like this, there's again deep in receivers, deep in running backs, and a tons D linemen and O line. I mean, we're talking all the way to 4th or 5th round, people who should be going in the 2nd round. That's the type of talent this year has in this year's draft. Not a sexy draft, but again, lots of good talent. And Davis Mills, he started off high, then got low, then finished off really high. I love Davis Mills. I think he has potential to be a top 20 quarterback in the NFL for this upcoming year. But again, the element of surprise, we saw this with the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I'm not saying Houston Texans are going to be the Cincinnati Bengals or anything like that. Not at all. But there's a possibility we could have the Texans win 8 games this year and literally double their wins. I mean, again, we know Lovie Smith. And again, he had winning teams with garbage quarterbacks. Look up the quarterbacks he had in Chicago. And look how many winning seasons. This guy knows what to do. But I would argue that this is the best quarterback he's had to work with in Davis Mills. I'm a believer in Davis Mills. Fairly decent stats. But again, it's going to be really exciting to take and see how he performed this year. Great arm ball, great accuracy. It's going to be another year of learning. Hey, they say for most quarterbacks, they really hit the curve around 3 years of being in the league. Obviously, this is an impatient league, so let's see how he does. But I'm going to have my prediction for the Houston Texans. I have them literally at nothing less than 7 wins. And while I do not have them making the playoffs, I have them winning as much as 8 or 9 wins this year. So I think it's going to be a great turnaround year. It's going to be a great building block year. A lot of young people on this team. I definitely would like to see a lot more veterans, which I'm not seeing too much. But a lot of young people on here, and Davis Mills. The world is his oyster right now. So again, those are my thoughts on the Houston Texans. Comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let's talk about it.
Turn 100 for the touchdown, king crown, gain inside, leading your town, hit you faster than the sound, bad boy, throw it down, yeah, I'm ill, not my will, don't cop a fill the house, listen to the roaring crowd, drop a like, calm it down, Heisman, all the haters mouth, superhero hit them, wow, packing more action than bing, boom, bam, pow, touchdown for the win, we live, subscribe right now.